So Treyarch, you guys opened up your press conference for the reveal with the tagline, "Forget what you know." And after hitting the level cap of 40, it feels like to an extent, it's more like Treyarch forgot what they know. Playing the Black Ops beta for the last 3 days has revealed quite a few things, some good, some bad. Firstly, this is a game that feels like it doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it a hero shooter like Overwatch? Is it a tactical military sim like Rainbow Six or SOCOM? Is it a fantasy shooter slash MOBA like Destiny? Honestly, it's a mashup of several ideas that are some more deliberate than others. With what was on offer during the beta, it varied as far as quality and fun factor. This is just to touch on a couple things. The time to kill was so wildly inconsistent. Some gunfights, you're going in guns blazing and you're melting everything in front of you. Other times it takes 10 plus rounds to put down one person, let alone if they're running in a group, then you're basically done. And though I'll admit, there are moments when this did feel good, but there were as many, if not more, that felt awful, like absolutely awful. The biggest gripes I had with this beta go as follows. Graphically, this game is not a looker. Compared to past titles, especially the Black Ops series, this one, out of all 4 of them at this point, looks the worst. Absolutely looks the worst. Black Ops 3, 2, and 1 all look better than this game. Well, let's go ahead and get that out of the way now. And let me go refer back to my notes here. Textures on the maps and also on the characters themselves look kind of rough in a lot of areas. I mean, there's some maps that actually look decent. Design as a whole was a very mixed bag, with half the maps looking fairly solid, and then you have the other maps, mostly Hacienda I'm talking about here, that just, it looks pretty but it plays terribly. And some of the maps, just everything just blends into the walls. Like there's one map in particular, I forget the name of it, but it was just not fun to play on and not fun to look at either. And speaking of poor design choice, again, I've already covered the time to kill. It's wild inconsistencies. Even with the health being 150, sometimes 200, again, there's times when you either melting somebody, or you're getting melted, or it takes forever to get killed, and vice versa. The merging of the specialists with non-lethal and lethal gadgets and abilities, some of these are way too overpowered. The riot shields, both of them, one that has the Guardian built in, that shit is crazy OP, and also even more than that one, the riot shield where you can walk around, where it has a hole you can throw a machine pistol through. You gotta need to take that shit out the game, seriously. And the Prophet, the little RC stunner car, take it out of the game. Just take it out of the game, because that shit is too annoying. And also with the Tempest rifle now, the radius on that is ridiculous. So we tried to figure out all weekend, what was I getting shocked with about 10 meters up the map, where I couldn't do anything, fell to the ground, couldn't revive, couldn't shoot, couldn't do anything. It was that one. So some of these abilities need to get dialed back, or just legit just take out the specialists altogether, because this is again one of those games, it's just too many ideas that's got thrown in a pot, and this is what we have. And honestly, the score streaks. The score streaks, why is it that the lowest kill streaks are the only ones that are reliable? I called in several attack choppers, I got maybe a kill, maybe on a good day, 2, because most of these maps are 80% indoors, so most aerial kill streaks did next to nothing to actually help you bump up your score. But also the strike team, laughably bad. And as far as the gunships and all that kind of stuff, I never got to see them. No one ever dropped any of those. But the Hellstorm and the Lightning Strikes, those actually seemed effective, but that's only 2 out of the maybe 16 streaks that were on offer. And 2 out of 16 ain't good, man. I just gotta tell you, it's not good. And also, the whole 5v5 thing, I can overlook that. I can totally just let that slide. But however, the main problem with this, just like Infinite Warfare, it just does not feel like a COD game. I mean, it's not terrible. I'm not gonna just go ahead and just like throw it all the way to the side and saying that it's an awful game, but at the same time it's just middle of the road, like mediocre, I guess would be the best way to describe it. It's like literally like EH ... and this is what we're gonna get for the multiplayer. Again, I really don't know what you're thinking with this Black Ops Pass and trying to charge more for this, because honestly you should just basically do anything you can to get customers and also longtime Call of Duty fans to stick with this, because I can almost certainly say this one's also going to be dead in a few months after launch, especially if things remain as broken as they are, because this just does not have the look of being a 3-year developed game. It just doesn't, sadly. And especially coming from Treyarch, this is the game that the Call of Duty community has been waiting for, because there's been more or less several bad games in a row that slowly declined over time. But the Treyarch one is the one that people are pretty much waiting to decide if they're going to stick with this franchise any longer or if they're going to continue to support it. So we're going to see what happens with the Blackout beta that's coming out later on in September. And all I can really say, if that and the zombies don't really pad out the multiplayer to being a more well-rounded purchase, I don't know if we're going to see the next Modern Warfare, whatever it's going to be from Infinity Ward. I don't know if we're going to see it, because Call of Duty has slowly been going the way of Tony Hawk, which they killed off with a very, very piss poor game. Like, that was just shameful what Activision did with that. And Guitar Hero, they tried rebooting that after they drove that in the ground. That's also a memory. So all I can really say is vote with your wallet on this one. We'll see what happens with Blackout, and that's all I can really say. I'll see you on the next one.